Hello guys and dolls. First and foremost, I have to say that no, I'm not naked. I was getting ready to film this intro and I realized how naked I looked, and I was like, okay, I have to say that I'm not naked so that way people don't watch the whole video think I'm naked, because that would be awkward. So I get a lot of questions about where I gather inspiration from when I do tutorials, and I gather inspiration from so many different places, like literally it's crazy. So this look today is somewhat inspired by a look I did on a client last weekend, only when I did it for her it was a little more plum toned and it was a little smokier. When I did it on myself I decided to make it more of like a taupey blue purple kind of shade. I don't know what to call this type of color, but I'm really obsessed with it. As you can see from my bedding, even my nails are like a gray with like a purple tone right now. I love it. I think it looks very luxurious and calming and soothing, and I'm a big fan. So I decided to do a makeup look that was a little bit of gold mixed in with that, because it makes it a little more interesting and it definitely makes it more flattering on more people. I do want to say that if you wanted to use this and you have a much warmer skin tone or a much deeper skin tone, you might want to, instead of using the Naked 2 palette, use the Naked 1 palette, because the Naked 1 palette still has like Half Baked and other gold shades and things like that. But this one has more of like a gray tone, so it goes better for me when I'm doing a look like this. But you might want to use the warmer tones in the Naked 1 if you have that available. I'm going to have links in the description box down below for you guys for all the things that I use in this video, as well as links to my Instagram and Facebook if you want to follow me there, as well as Twitter. Poor little Twitter gets kind of forgotten a little bit by me, but I'm trying to be better about it. And I think that's basically it. Definitely give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and let's go ahead and get started with the look. Okay, so I started out by making my skin nice and glowy using the MAC Strobe Cream, which if you've never used it before has like all these like shiny particles in it, which gives your skin a nice glow. It's nice and hydrating, blah blah. Now I'm going to do a little bit of concealer underneath my brow, and I'm doing this not just to clean up the brow shape, although that is a benefit, but the real reason why I like doing this is because so many highlighter shades are about my actual skin tone, unless I want to use like white, and I think that that doesn't always work with every look. So just doing a little bit of concealer helps give me that look of lift without actually having to use white or something, and it just does a little something more for me than what a regular highlighter shade could do. And yeah, that's about all I have to say about that. And also, like, the highlighter in the palette today is very yellow toned compared to my skin tone, and it doesn't really do anything for me. The little secret I want to give you guys is that I'm not applying this concealer over a primer. I find that when I try to put the concealer over the primer, it makes it look really dry, whereas if I do it beforehand, it looks nice and, hydrated and more skin-like. It doesn't look as makeup-y. Now I'm going to come in with my primer. This is the NARS Smudgeproof Pro Prime, and just use that on the lower portion of my lids. So I'll just blend that in below where I applied the concealer. When I originally did this look on someone else, I used, I think, the Naked 1 palette and the Laura Mercier Artist palette, which isn't available, so we're not even going to talk about it. So what I'm going to do to recreate that look on myself is I'm going to use the Naked 2 palette. I'm going to use quite a few colors from here, and I'm also going to use some purples from Makeup Geek that are somewhat similar to the ones from the Laura Mercier palette. So the Wayne Goss number 4 brush, which is just a tapered blending brush, and I'm going to use Tease eyeshadow. Tap off the extra. So just rock that in your socket line. And I do this to add a little bit of depth and dimension to my eye. And then also when we add in the purple eyeshadows in a minute, it's going to make them look great to have that neutral base. I'm going to use a combination of Purple Rain and Fairy Tale, which are both blue-based purples. Just pounce a little in one and then dip into the other as well. And then just go over that crease color. I want that to be a little bit more blue tone, a little deeper, so I'm going to use Dutchess, also from Makeup Geek, and this is a Sigma brush. It's angled, so you can get in the crease really nicely if you go sideways with it, and then if you want to blend it out, you can take it with like the little pointed end tucked into the crease, and it'll lightly blend out the upper. Alright, then I'm just taking a little bit of Tease back over that. I swear, makeup is pretty much just about layering and blending and layering and blending and layering and blending and layering and blending until you're dead. To highlight today, I'm just going to use MAC's Vanilla eyeshadow. Got a big fluffy brush from Sigma. Just do work, son. For the lid shade, I'm using Mushroom eyeliner as a base from Urban Decay. And I'm just spreading that out all over the lid. Perfection. And then I'm going to take a combination of Suspect at first, all over the lid, or like, not really all over, sorry. I'm just putting that in the center. Then I'm going to take a little bit of Half Baked just to brighten it up. You know, if you have a warmer skin tone than mine, you might want to even just go in with Half Baked solidly. But for me, if I just do Half Baked on its own, it's a little too gold. And that's just not the look I'm going for today. And then I'm going to punctuate the gold with a little bit of Tease, which is this like mauve-y gray that we used earlier in the crease as well. And then go over your Half Moon shape a little bit with that as well. It's just going to take down the shine, and it's really going to punctuate the center of the lid. It's going to make it come forward a bit more because you have the shiny texture and then you have the mattified texture in the outer corners. Okay, so I'm just going to do a really thin line of black across the lash line. And I find that when I need to do it really, really thin, it helps to start in this center portion rather than start at the inner portion, which is where I usually start if I'm going to do a thicker line. Alright, go ahead and clean up the fallout. Holy moly! For my waterline today, I'm using Urban Decay Perversion. Try not to poke yourself in the eye. And then I'm going to take a little Q-tip and run it along the lash line in case some of it kind of smooched over. Kind of make it softer. Then I'm going to go over that with Dutchess. It's a MAC 212 brush. I'm going to cover my upper inner rim. Like drama to get some makeup on. The Clinique High Impact Mascara. Stuff's pretty good. I'm gonna finish up the eyes with Bootycall from the Naked 2 palette. Just put that right here. Of course, the little highlight in the inner corner. Gotta have it. Makes the eyes so much wider and so much more open. For blush, I'm gonna use Mood Exposure from Hourglass in a wing gloss brush and just put that on. I just realized that I'm not using my favorite blush brush. I would use this for my powder earlier, so I just kind of like grabbed it off my desk and now I'm like, I'm sad because I didn't use my favorite blush brush. Anyway, so because it's spring, I want to do like a nice like pink lip. I'm going to use Pink Lady from the new Milani Brilliant Shine Lip Gloss Selection. Now we are done. So let me grab my hat. Oh, my hat got knocked out. I don't know where my hat went. Hold please. Here we have the completed look. I need to go curl this side of my hair, but I'll do that when I'm done filming this tutorial for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching my tutorial featuring the Naked 2 palette and the Makeup Geek eyeshadows, which are freaking amazing and unfortunately don't have cool packaging to show to you. I really like this sort of like taupey grayish kind of color thing. Like obviously you can see my bedding is all like shades of gray and bluish purple, and like I have my new curtains over here which are gray. I have a problem with this color, or maybe it's not a problem. Maybe we shouldn't, let's not look at it negatively. I have an affinity for this color. It's sort of my new favorite color. Anyway, in fact, I even have gray nails on. I can't. So I will see you guys in my next video. If you haven't already, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Remember to be just yourself. See you, bye.